The nation at 5 with visuals coming through from Russia, where in a short while from now, Vladimir Putin is formally going to sign on the dotted line, where he will announce that Russia is annexing certain parts of Ukraine and making it integral to Russian territory, sovereign, declaring it either sovereign entities, independent regions, or part of Russia. This includes Luhansk, Donetsk. These are the visuals that are coming through at this point. We are expecting Putin to come in, step in and sign and maybe speak at this point. The impact that it has. This, if you were to understand from a map perspective, ladies and gentlemen, this part from Luhansk, Donetsk into Zaporizhzhia and Kherson, this will allow Russia to connect directly to the Sea of Azov and Black Sea, which are the only warm water ports and accesses that they would have. So this is something which the Russians would want, and they will formally annex this particular region and this entire area for them. Sanjay Suri is joining us. Sanjay, it seems to be raining where you are. Swasti Rao and Ambassador Ashok Sajjan are also with us. But this is a landmark moment because it was building up to this, a war that's a conflict that's gone on for more than about 6.5 months. It was always building up to Russia packing, sealing this place off and taking control, because this is the only strip that would connect the Russian mainland to warm waters.
Well, you suggest that this is some sort of Russian triumph. I'm not sure that is the case. You suggest that there is a strategic advantage, and certainly if you were to look at the map and draw arrows, then some things would stand out. But the position on the ground is quite different, and the position in the real politics is quite different. This is not going to be a move that any country will accept. The whole world is distancing itself from it, and that includes countries that have been close to Russia. China has put out a statement suggesting that it is not going to endorse this. Israel, which has had very close ties with Russia, is not. Certainly, India is not likely to endorse this. And this is not going to be access to port in normal commercial, peaceful situations. This is going to exacerbate the conflict. It will deepen the conflict, as the UN Secretary General has warned. And Putin is isolated. Russia is in a spot. This is actually the beginning of greater difficulties for Russia, rather than the conclusion of a special military operation.
Well, this is not to say that what Russia is doing is right. This is just the Russian point of view. And the Russian point of view emerges from the aspect that there was an agreement that was signed between America and Ukraine on the 10th of November 2021 that allowed, it was a strategic security partnership. So quite literally, it allowed American warships into the Black Sea and the guise of military exercises along with Ukraine, which Vladimir Putin directly saw as an affront to Russia and an effort to try and choke Russia. The annexation of Crimea also did not go down well with the world, but Russia went ahead and did it, because even then the warning was that NATO should back off from Eastern Europe. Ambassador Ashok Sajjan and Swasti Rao with us. Vladimir Putin has gone ahead and done what he believes is in the interest of securing Russia's sovereignty, protecting Russia's sovereignty, and in favor of Russian interests. It has totally destroyed a nation that is Ukraine. It has brought the West and Russia at loggerheads, again with America fighting from the shadows, with nearly $18 billion worth of arms and ammunition being supplied by the Americans to Ukraine. So short of putting boots on ground, America is doing literally everything in this conflict. What is the impact of what Vladimir Putin is going to announce? As he says, this is the strip that we are going to seal off and we're going to claim it as Russian territory or independent territory which Russia will protect.
Anand, is the question to me?
Yes, Ambassador Sajjan.
Okay, right. Thank you, Anand, and sorry for this delay. You know, I fully agree with, concur with what Mr. Sanjay Suri has said. I think this is a sign of desperation as far as Mr. Putin is concerned. It's also frustration, because it's more than 7 months that this euphemistically called special military operation has been continuing. Whatever might have been the original goals or objectives of Mr. Putin, I don't think he has been able to meet that. And he has been getting more frustrated and more unpredictable And this is a sign of that unpredictability. Now, Mr. Sanjay Suri mentioned China and Israel and India. Let me tell you, countries which Russia calls as its near abroad, Central Asia. In the St. Petersburg International Economic Forum on 20th of June, Mr. Tokayev, the president of Kazakhstan, in so many words, mentioned that Kazakhstan is not going to recognize the LPR, the Luhansk People's Republic, Donetsk People's Republic, as they have not recognized Crimea. I think the West was possibly willing to live with Crimea because of its history, that it had been handed over by Khrushchev to Ukraine, and then it belongs to Russia in terms of the population, the culture, customs, tradition, languages. But the same cannot really be said for rest of the countries. There he had a referendum. Here the referendum was done, with whatever reports have been emanating, Anand, with a gun pointed to the heads of the people. The soldiers are going around and asking for their views. I don't think they had any option but to say yes to this. So I think what the West is saying and what the other countries are saying, I think even members of the so-called Collective Security Treaty Organization, which is a security treaty that has been put up by Russia, by Mr. Putin in 1992, even members of that organization are not coming up and supporting Mr. Putin. Even Uzbekistan has said that. So I think if you look at what Mr. Putin is doing, it will further isolate him. It will, of course, bring much greater danger, because if he announces that this is Russian territory and any attack on Kherson, on Zaporizhzhia, on LPR, DPR is an attack